Hey guys, welcome to the Sean Donahue Show. I am Danielle Donahue, Sean's wife, and we've got Dani Higley over here.
Hello.
Hey guys, this is kind of a unique podcast we got today. We're actually in the same room, in the same
Yes.
area. And Sean, we did the unthinkable. We brought our wives on this show.
Yes, it's not unthinkable. We've been talking about this for over a year, but we got these lovely ladies here. Jordan, describe the setting of where we're at right now.
Okay, this is like the most interesting setup we have. Okay,
Yes.
we're in my living room in North Georgia. Our cameras and our computers are sitting on like a blue tub that you'd use for like storage stuff. Okay, so like we're trying to get the height here. We've got couches smushed together. We're trying to do what we can to get a little video, but more importantly, we want to get good audio and have good content for everybody today.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really, really special. This is the first in-person podcast that Jordan and I've ever done together. And not only are we in person, we're sitting like 3 feet from each other, but we're here with our wives and we want to do an episode where we just talk about parenting and marriage and hard times and good times. And let's check in with our wives. How are you girls feeling?
Well, this was my idea, but now I'm kind of like, okay, what I get myself into. This is like out of my comfort zone, but I've been wanting to do it. It's been on my heart, so I think it'll be great. But yeah,
I have a question for you, Danielle.
Yes.
Do you listen to each episode that
Oh.
is released? Not each, but let's just put it this way. Have you listened to the actual show before?
Let's just say, I would say Dani's probably a lot better at that.
I am a loyal listener.
Danny's
I
a-
do listen
I
every
need
Tuesday.
I need to grow in that area.
Well, I mean, it's hard when you hear this stuff all the time. I mean, you
I
live
have him
with
in person.
the
You know,
the
I
family
get
coach.
the real.
Yes, where I'm learning as it comes out. I'm like, oh, that is great advice.
Yeah, shout out to this wonderful organization called Gigi's Playhouse. And that's actually what brought us here to Atlanta, North Georgia area. So we flew out here because we wanted to be with our dear friends, Dani and Jordan. But also, can we do a little, Dani, would you mind telling us a little bit about Gigi's Playhouse and the gala we went to yesterday and the fundraiser and that's awesome organization?
Yes. Gigi's Playhouse is a national organization that services the Down syndrome community. And we provide free therapeutic and educational services for birth through adulthood for our participants. And we utilize 99% volunteers to provide those services. And it's wonderful. We've got 64 playhouses across the country, and Atlanta is one of the flagship locations. And yeah, it's great.
was a great
We
time.
had our gala last night,
was fantastic.
raised a lot of money so we
Yeah.
can keep our doors open and keep our free programming for people with Down syndrome. So
It's pretty amazing.
I loved playing tag with Kinlan just around the house. He'd say, "Can't catch me." It was just it was so fun, so sweet. Okay, so what we're doing for today is we want to have fun. We want to be lighthearted. We want to be real, and so let's. I've got some questions prepared for all of us, and I think the first one is a really fun, easy question. So everybody has like a parenting style, right? And as you kind of get older, your kids get older, you kind of realize what your style is. So on a really, really good day, how would you describe your parenting style? Like share with us like one or two words, like the type of parent you really want to be, like you want to be known as, like what you're focusing on. Tell us, everybody, if you could, everybody share one or two words that come to mind.
You want to go first?
sure,
Okay.
yeah. On a good day, which I have a lot of good days actually in this stage of life. Our twins are 11, and we've got our 6.5-year-old. So we're kind of out of the chaos, which is great. So I'd say intentional. I spend a lot of time being intentional with our schedules and our time together, and then positive. So anything that comes our way, because we've got a lot that comes our way, I feel like I can turn a lot of things that would be perceived negative into positive. So
Yeah.
I'd say that's what I strive for.
I would agree with that. I don't know what mine is. I just came up with I like the adventurous style of parenting, right? Being adventurous, always doing something on the weekends, right? And making sure that we always are like creating memories.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I call myself like a fun parent, but I
Oh,
like
yeah,
to
you
do
are.
as much as we can to like have fun because
Yeah.
day to day can be hard. So it's like, what are we going to do fun today, or what are we going to do fun this weekend, so we have something to look forward to.
That's a good
Yeah.
word, you guys. Really good.
Yeah, I would think now that like two of our daughters are a lot older now, we got 20, 16, and 9. And um, also being intentional about like with time and just listening, being present, and just trying to check in, like staying up late, staying up till midnight, because that's kind of when, they're up, and trying to, just be around to listen and to just connect at those times. And, I think I'm more of the disciplinary one than Sean in some areas. Like he's more calm and patient. And I'm more
Really?
like,
That is so
yes,
I would have
surprising.
not guessed
We
that.
would have never
Oh,
known
yeah.
that.
no.
Not at all.
I would have had that
I would have thought
script flipped for
Sean
sure.
would be the one. Like,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
that is so fun. I thought you'd be more laid back.
No.
Yeah.
Oh
But
my God.
Who do you think out of us is the disciplinary?
Very strong woman sitting next to me right now.
I know. I would guess Danny is more of the disciplinary one.
No,
Danny
Jordan.
is more laid back.
I don't discipline. Jordan
Really?
does.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
interesting.
That is
Yeah, I would-
interesting.
Yeah.
I would have guessed the otherwise
Yeah.
too.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, why you why would you like tell me why? Why are you more laid back, Danny?
I think, well, I don't want to speak for you.
No,
but
go.
Danny
What's your hypothesis?
gives our kids more, I guess, responsibility in terms of being responsible for their actions, right?
Okay.
And so she treats them more like adults.
Yeah.
And it's like, you need to think about what you did, or,
Yeah.
this has consequences. And me, I'm like, they're still young. So I'm like, no, we need to punish them right now because they don't, they're not an adult and can reflect on this later. To them, it's like, it's going to be a thought passing in the wind and they're going to forget about it. And so Danny's like, so much better at talking to them.
Natural consequences.
Natural
Because I listen to this podcast, so I've learned a lot about natural consequences.
Yes.
So
Well, that's what I think of with disciplinary, though, is natural consequences. I'm not thinking like punishment.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, how can, and for our 9-year-old, not with our older ones. I feel like we've moved past that, but more so with the 9-year-old of like, okay, you're making these choices. We've got to stop this,
Yeah.
and, before, or else it just goes, it just gets out of control. But Sean is definitely way more like, okay. And she'll say stuff and she just rolls with it. I'm like, you can't talk to your dad that way. You got to step up. So I'm the one like, no, this is not okay. Like we need to discuss this. And, so it's definitely a different, but again, not so much like, okay, you have punishment for this. And you know what I mean? Like, it's like how they can own their own choices.
Yeah, you're coaching
for
them.
sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it definitely makes us stronger as parents. Like, think about it, right? You've got, I wouldn't say a good cop, bad cop kind of situation, but it's almost like, you've got two sides of the sword, but both meld together to create a sharp point that makes you a good parenting figure together.
Yeah.
And right, we're better together than individualized.
Yeah, for sure.
1,000%.
Yeah, like I really like that. That is definitely something I want to go back to on this episode. We are better together. So like, I really like that little story of how you are doing such a good job of staying up late with our 20-year-old and our 16-year-old. I'm trying. It's just so hard. It's so hard to stay up because the girls are really in that space, and I feel jealous sometimes because they're kind of staying up late, and that's kind of like, when you say you're really present and intentional, that's so good. Like that's like they're really good at just like sitting in a room together and they're just like existing and just being together, and then great conversations comes up. And I think sometimes I'm kind of more like formal. So like, how was your day? Tell me your high low.
Yeah.
What's your favorite band right now? And all the girls are kind of roasting me because I think she's so good at just being kind of natural with the kids, and I'm kind of more like, like more formal with the questions.
Well, we have 3 daughters. And so I think we can be on our phones and yet still be present and still like talk through that, or like something comes up, but we're just in the same room. Like if I need to get some work done on my phone or whatever, like we can still all be doing that. But yes, you're more like, can we put our phones down and just connect? We're like, yeah, for sure. There's a time and place for that.
Yeah.
But there's no like, we're just hanging out, Dad. Like we don't need to like just stare into each other's souls.
I think that's maybe like, that's interesting too. Like if you think about the words that you're all thinking, like what would be one of the words that I really want to be, and I know I'm not perfect at that. My word would probably be present. I really like just being present.
Yeah.
Like I'm here. Like if you come into a room, I'm going to make sure I'm going to look at you. I'm going to put my phone down, and and so maybe that kind of why I get a little bit like, not what's the word, like I don't.
Annoyed,
Yeah,
frustrated.
yeah. When people aren't as present, it's like, hey, can we just be present together? So, and because yeah, that's the kind of like the parent that I want to be, a present parent.
That's funny. I'm learning you and I are a lot more alike than I think I
Isn't that
realized,
funny?
because that is me to a T.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is everyone on their phone?
Yeah, Dani has
All the time.
100 unread text messages.
Yeah,
At
I
present.
just learned that about you.
As of
She's
this
like, I don't
morning.
Blows my mind.
I loved hearing that, Dani. That
Yeah.
you don't even answer your phone sometimes. You don't respond to text.
No.
I think that's a great,
Yeah,
I think
no.
it's a great thing. Like that's a great
I
quality.
get a lot of slack for it, but I
Yeah.
am who I am in the
Yeah.
phone space.
No, I think it makes me want to be more like that. I'm feeling the like, oh, this need to respond and do this. And it's like, but the draw to like, okay,
Yeah.
that doesn't all need to happen. We can exist and live
Right.
and not have to be so like
Yeah.
responsive. And
When I make new friends now, I have to forewarn them that if they really need me, they have to call.
Yeah.
Because I'm not texting. There's a
Yeah.
good chance I'm not going to
so will you
See
answer
it.
if they call? Is that, so it's different. You won't text?
sometimes.
Depends what's going on.
Not even that. Yeah,
Maybe
this-
if they call twice,
show up on my
then I'm like, oh, they really need to talk to me.
yes.
I have a question. So I think what's good for everybody listening right now is like we're all in a stage of trying to get better and be better parents.
Yeah, always.
So as I put the mic close to my face, I'm learning a lot from Dani. And on social media, it seems like Sean Donahue has all the answers for everything. So Danielle, Sean does a great job on this podcast with being vulnerable and talking a lot about how you help him. But is there a lot of things you think you provide that actually helps him so much? Because people at home are like, he must be so perfect. He just has the answer for
Right.
everything. But does he actually put it into practice, or is there still a lot of learning from the guy who's helping all of us out?
Yeah. No, he definitely puts it into practice for sure. I do see that. I mean, we've both come a long way from when we were at our 20-year-old versus our 9-year-old, and our parenting has changed so much. And the things we've learned, I'm like, oh, our poor first daughter was such a guinea pig on that. And I feel so bad. Like there's so many things we're like, oh, she's like, there's no way we would have got away with this. And it's like things have changed so much. But no, he definitely, there's a lot where I'm like, like I feel in the beginning, I was like I'm the one sending him parenting,
Advice.
yeah, like look at this, check out this woman, do the, like let's do this seminar together for parenting, and he was kind of like, but that really kind of spurred this whole thing of like how we can be more intentional and listening and not just punishing, but how do we really give natural consequences and be empathetic and good listeners and present and all those things.
Yeah.
And that started early on, but yeah, it was like he's definitely come so far in that, and I'm learning so much about just being more patient and being more like, okay, don't take everything to offense that your kids say. Like my 20-year-old, I would take everything like as like a dagger to the heart, like, oh, this must mean I'm the most horrible parent and she's disrespecting me, I must be all these things. And so now I'm like, these things don't bother me anywhere near that they used to. And so I've seen a lot of help each other in those areas.
I think where I'm trying to go with this is like we've all had to mold
Yes.
to figure out how to go from our individual selves to our marriage selves. And then we have to figure out how to mold to become child free, and now we have children, and we got to figure out how we're parenting together. So we've had to adapt a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
I'd say one of the biggest stories I remember with me and you is when we were like first together, and we had split finances. And I remember Dani walking in there and be like, we have to talk about money right now. This is not working. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, she's like, we got to figure this out. And so we had this whole breakdown on finances and how we should do it together. And then when we had the kids, we were kind of doing parenting the way we think we should do them. And then we had to have like no, we need to talk about this. Like, and so you had a style that I wasn't used to. I had a style you weren't used to. And we really had to like blend them, but it wasn't easy.
No.
Yeah.
It took a long time.
It took a long time.
And a lot of patience. And I think that's one thing that I've had to learn a lot is like how to be patient with parenting styles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And be patient with your spouse of not,
Yeah.
they're not supposed to be who you are and
Yeah,
what you bring
that's
to
true.
the table. They're supposed to be this other
Yeah.
entity that you fell in love with, and there's so much good that can be pulled from each side. And then it's
Mhm.
just, all right, I mean, yeah, here, you're really talented in this area that I struggle in a little bit. So
Yeah.
you're going to take the lead in that area of our
Yeah.
family. And
Yeah.
I think it's just for us, like we talk about how we're raising our kids daily,
Hmm.
you know, like how
Mhm.
are we tackling this and how are we running through this schedule? And
But we're both willing to adapt.
Yeah.
yeah, I think
And
it's also just not taking offense that the other person does have an opinion and a
Yeah.
different idea of how to do it. It's like I don't look at any of your stuff as like some problem. It's like they're all
right.
just
Because I'm not trying,
opportunities.
like, sound
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
it's
yeah,
all
I'm
just
trying to
an
help.
opportunity, even if it's completely opposite of what my
Yeah.
thought would be for like a situation or something.
Sean, have you ever had a situation in your world where like you've had parents not be able to adapt with each other? How do you coach that? How do you be like, listen, you need to
Oh
like,
goodness.
That's a good question.
Well, first of all, if someone's really rigid in their parenting and they're not adaptable, well then they're not. I will never meet them
oh,
because they're not
because they're not
coming.
willing to come to
They're
you.
not
Oh,
coming to my
right.
Yeah,
membership.
good
They're
point.
probably not listening to this podcast right
Yeah.
now, right? So, like, people that listen to this podcast and that join me in the membership, you have a growth mindset towards parenting. So everybody in life has growth mindsets towards different things. But what's amazing about kind of our generation is that there's so many of us that have a growth mindset towards parenting. I don't have this all figured out. I want to grow. I want to learn. And so to take that question and also kind of contribute to what I wanted to share is like, I think a big part of, like, just to build on what you guys were saying, is I have learned a lot from these brilliant women authors over the last 20 years. But I I have learned so much from my wife. She has like mentored me and taught me things like way beyond anyone can ever teach another person. And so, like, I can give a few examples. So, like, early on in our marriage, and for a long part of our marriage, we had no money, and so she wanted to do family vacations, and because she valued them. But I didn't grow up doing family vacations because we didn't have any money, so we
Yeah.
just went camping.
Right.
Once a year. My parents divorced, and I was 11.
Which is still awesome, by the way.
It is. And so, like, she's like, no, I really want to make this a part of our family, family dynamic. I want to do it this way. And I think a big part of, like, thriving in marriage and co-parenting is really trusting that you don't, like, your spouse has a lot to offer, and they're smart, and they're different than you, and that you can learn from them, and accepting that their differences, there's good things in there. And so I had to learn how to accept her and realize I can't change her. I realizing she's trying to change me, accept that she's probably not going to be able to change a lot of these things about me, and accept that this is a dynamic. And then when you have that feeling of, like, I can really, like, trust this other person, they have my best interests in mind, and they have our kids' best in it. It was like some of the foundational thinking that has brought so much, like, peace into my mind and into our lives. Do you guys agree that
100%.
happened to you guys? Like,
Oh,
the
Yes.
yeah.
psychology of trust?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to learn to let George just take the lead sometimes because I'm so used to leading.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, this is actually like, I've got to let this role reverse.
Until I go
Mhm.
too far. And then she's like, okay, that's
Dial
enough.
it back, dial it back,
We're
dial it
reeling
back,
you in a
dial
little
it
bit,
back.
bro. Like, okay, fine.
But that's our good balance. Like that is a good
Mhm.
balance. I've gotten to the point where I manage a lot for our kids, so
Mhm.
I need him to take the lead in the daily conversations and things. And then
Mhm.
I'm a great supporting role in that
Let me ask you
aspect.
about that, because I really love what you just said. I'm so used to leading. In fact, Danny, you gave a speech at JG's Playhouse 2 days ago. It was so incredible. You brought the whole group together, and you've always been a leader. Used to be a great cheerleader, and so I really feel like Danielle is the leader of, like, our home in so many ways. I trust her leadership. She takes, like, the stay-at-home mom especially. I feel like it's like the matriarch and, like, the pinpoint. So, of like, and I feel like what really makes a good, like, husband is how do you submit and honor the mom and her maternal instincts, and let her take the lead, but then also like, how does she, if she is a strong woman, like we're sitting next to two strong women right now, Jordan,
Yeah.
how does she do what you just said? And like, let your husband take the lead at times, and let him feel like, hey, this is out of my comfort zone, husband, but I trust your manly instincts and your passion and your grit, and maybe it's out of my comfort zone. Can you guys talk a little bit about that? Has that been hard for you to kind of let your husbands take the lead at times? And can you maybe tell us a story or two that maybe might come up?
Yeah, this actually just happened last week. No, it's good. It's good stuff. We obviously have a lot of things we have to manage with our young son with Down syndrome, and a lot of that falls to me. That's just my natural. I just have a knack for understanding it and figuring out how to advocate in the best ways. But there's been some things recently where I'm not the right person for it. And so last week I contacted the school and I said, anything that comes through on like a disciplinary level at school with our son Kinlan, I need you guys to stop contacting me, and it needs to go to Jordan.
Yeah.
And that was for a lot of different reasons, but also it's just like to give him ownership of this part of our life also, and just trust him to take the lead in something that I've managed, and more so given him explanation to on the back end. But now I think I'm really trying to pull him in as an equal partner in that part of our parenting.
I think that also comes with like the idea of like having being the masculine part of person in a relationship versus a feminine, and just the things that come with that, whether you're more or less emotional, more or less logical. So for me, these roller coasters of emotions that could come with him don't phase me as much as it would her.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you want to take on that mental stress, or do you want me to take on that mental stress? Because I can literally brush it off and it's NBD, no big deal.
Yeah.
And to her, it could be a big deal.
Yeah.
So it's like, why don't you not get stressed out? I'll take this,
Yeah.
and we'll be able to move forward.
And it took me a couple months to like kind of give into that of just, no, but this is something I manage. This is my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
But then it was just like, but why? Like, why does that have to
Yeah.
be mine? Like I can easily give that to him, and he's offering because he's seeing a need that I needed somebody to take that part
Yeah.
of this. So
I think it works with the little decisions, right? Some of the hard things could be for people listening right now for big decisions. Like, we can we don't need to get into specifics, but it could come to anything from, what sport do you want your kid to go into? Do you want your kid to get vaccinated? One might say yes, one might say no. It could be anything. And the hard stuff can be very difficult to lower my idea on that.
Yeah.
And same for her.
That's a good
And
point.
it could be very serious in conversations. It could be maybe altering our relationship because we are so sturdy on that belief system.
Yeah.
Punishment, to spank, to not to spank.
Sure.
Some of these are the big ones that I would say take a lot of conversations,
yeah.
Yes.
a lot of patience,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and a lot of like, okay, I'll give you the reins and let's see. Okay, that didn't
Yeah.
work. Give me the reins and let's see. And it's almost like trial and error,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We have accumulated some tools, by reading books, listening to podcasts, and like, here's a helpful tool that just come to mind. If this is something that you as a listener are resonating in this, sometimes Danielle and I will use a number scale. Like, she'll say, Sean, this is a 10 out of 10 for me. I'll be like, what? A 10 out of 10? Come on. Oh.
Yeah.
And very rarely will I counter with, well, this is a 10 out of 10 for me. Yeah, I would never, but I just know that if this strong, beautiful woman is coming at me, she's probably not going to say like it's a 9 out of 10. She'll say it's a 10 out of 10, because that's like kind of like, we need tools for this. Like, how do you make decisions together? How do you, and this is something I learned from another marriage couple. I'd love to say this. Like, this is just, let me give you hope, everyone listening to this. There's always a third way. I'm going to say it again. There's always a third way. It doesn't have to be her way. It doesn't have to be his way. Like, you can figure it out, a way to work it out together. It just might take time. You might have to ask another couple, a wiser couple, an older couple, and say, can you help us figure this out? there is a way to figure this out.
That's a good idea. Seeking advice from another couple. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've asked that. There's been a handful of times where we're just like come to a point where it's like this 10 out of 10. He's like, I'm sorry, I just do not see it that way. I'm like, well, can we ask some friends or like a counselor, like something? Like, this is so huge for me, and we just can't come to a place. So it's like, asking for external advice and help and being open to that. Because if then one person is shut off, like, nope, just doing it my way, then
because what if you're a 10 out of 10 all the time? Like,
Right,
listen, you can't be a 10 out of 10
You're
all the
like,
time.
come
That's no
on.
fair.
Right.
That's not fair.
That's not
Right. And being wise about that. And when
Yeah.
you are strong and, like, yes, it is definitely hard for me to let go of a lot of things. So when you're strong like that and being like, okay, this is a time where I need to be able to be open to, other ways and a third way.
Which you could then, just based on what you just said, you could make the argument that one of the most important, most valuable, most important parts of being a good parent is flexibility and trust.
Yeah.
Trusting, having the ability to trust your partner, and then being flexible, being like, okay, I'm going to sleep tonight. I'm going to be able to sleep because it's not my way, but it's a different way, and we're going to be okay. That is a skill. And if you had a really bad childhood or screwed up childhood, or you couldn't trust people growing up, that's like, you got to do some deep inner work to get to that point.
Right. And it can be hard. Some people can be listening right now and be like, I wish my spouse would be doing what you say, but they just don't. So then
We'll send them this episode.
Yeah.
And let's keep building on this. Here's another really fun question. Okay, we've really been talking about some characteristics we like about our own parenting, but we've alluded to this. Let me do a formal question. Okay. How has your spouse helped you to become a better parent? How has your spouse helped you to become a better parent? Tell us a little story or use a word. It says like, this is, where I was, but because of my spouse, this is where I've gone, or this is how I'm growing, maturing, changing. Get us started.
I would say your communication. The way she communicates to the kids makes me try to become more mature in my parenting and communicating better, because she's such a good communicator. Like, she'll talk to them and tell them why they've upset her. And I'm like, I don't tell them why they upset me. I just, raise a hand and push, like, get mad. And I'm like, I should tell them how I'm feeling. She's so good at that. I'm not good at that.
Danny, hold on. I'm so
He
glad
doesn't
Danny's
actually
here.
raise a hand.
I know.
never-
Hold on.
I know.
Hold on.
Like
It's not a
I need
thing.
hold on. Okay, we've been doing this podcast together for like what? A long time. 2, maybe
like-
3 years. He's always making jokes about like get a bell.
Hey, I know.
Raise a hand. I was
Yeah.
like, what are you doing, man?
I know.
You don't even. He's never once even.
No.
He's always making these jokes.
I know, and I do
sometimes I
cringe
feel bad 'cause, like, what if
every
someone's new to
Tuesday.
this?
Every Tuesday, I cringe because there is something.
Oh, you hear something, yes.
So it makes me wonder, like, someone that's a new listener, I'm like, no, Jordan, I feel like I have to like defend him. From
So do
himself.
I.
Like,
I'm
Jordan,
literally yelling at
he's
the
not doing
radio,
this, everybody.
like,
It's joking. Like, watch it on YouTube.
I'm like,
and see
it's not
his
true.
jokes.
It's not true. It's not true.
The hard part is sometimes it's like, man, I wish it were true. I wish I could just get this thing and let them know.
No,
but I don't.
But that's the thing. You were raised that way, so
I
that
was raised
is,
that way.
and these were
It's like,
conversations.
I want to flick you in the mouth. What did you just say to me? I
And I'm
will
like,
wash
walk
your
away.
mouth out with soap.
Walk
What
away.
did you
Walk
say?
away. Let me
Right.
handle it.
But Danny's like, let's talk to them about it. And I'm like, no, I want an action, and I want them to, So she's helped me in that way to communicate so much better, rather than just jumping to a conclusion and trying to figure out if grabbing the wooden spoon is actually going to work.
That's
No.
a joke, everyone.
It is a
He's
joke.
never
It
grabbed
is
a
a
spoon.
Never done.
Never done.
But maybe
Here
if
we
he was
are
married
again.
to someone else, maybe he would have been that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the combination of you two,
Yeah.
and him
Oh, yeah.
reflecting on that. I mean, if you get two parents that have been raised that way, or that like don't see anything wrong with that, then it's going to be a lot harder.
It's a different, different household for
Right.
sure. Yeah.
And I think that's why it's good to be so strong-willed with that mother's intuition of not doing that, because if you're sly about that, then it can easily be adapted into your parenting style.
Yeah. Well, and one thing you do really well, though, is like you are a very soft parent, like very kind, empathetic. You do have really wonderful conversations with our kids. But when you do have those conversations or you do like utilize your voice for something important, it resonates with them because it's not all the time.
Yeah, well,
It's
that's
like
good. Yeah.
he's very intentional about when you do speak up and have those tough conversations with them or
Yeah, because they can be so awkward. Like, I don't want to have these conversations. Like, can we just move past it? And it's like, no, you actually have to step up and
yeah.
Yeah.
talk about the birds
Yeah.
and the bees or whatever it is.
Right.
Sure.
Ugh.
Okay, now it's my wife's turn. Tell us more about.
How has Sean helped you?
How amazing am I, Danielle? What have I done for you?
Tell us everything.
Okay, wait, it's her turn. It's her turn. Can't wait to hear what she's gonna say.
How have you helped me become a better parent? Well, watch.
Oh, thanks for asking.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Can you tell? Did anyone know words of affirmation is Sean's love language? He's like, tell me more. So I would say really just his calm demeanor. I am the opposite of the calm, patient demeanor. And so learning to like, if the kids do something or say something and he's kind of like, yeah, okay, well, I know they don't mean it. And he's just so calm. And it helps me to want to be more like that. Like, why do I react so much? You know, I mean, I've come a long way, but I feel like there's still so much further to go in like how I respond in the moment. And I think just watching him actually like it truly doesn't like, I mean, maybe it bothers you on some level, but like really, it's really like, yeah, well, she doesn't mean it or it's this and that. And it's just like no big rush to make
Yeah, I see
a
what you're saying.
disciplinary thing or big rush to
Right.
correct. Like, it's not like, well, it's not the right time. Like, we're in the car driving. Like, we can address this later. But I'm like, but when? When are you going to address it? like, it just happened. Like, what if you forget? It's just like being more calm and just watching his whole demeanor and that. Like, it's.
Thank you.
What do you call that? There's a term for that.
Remember, I was saying, teaching moments don't happen.
That's
in the
exactly
moment.
right.
Teaching
Yeah.
what? Oh, yes.
Take a pause.
Yes.
Take a pause.
Right.
Self-regulate.
Do you have a list,
Self-regulate.
Danielle? You don't have a listener right now.
Breathe.
So we all, our whole family gives them a bad time because we're like, oh, do we need to have a heart talk or do we need to?
Well, I'm being serious and joking at the same time. I can't sometimes use these skills with my own family.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Won't work
Like-
with me, Dad. I know your tricks.
Oh, I heard that with that great sassy tone.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he hears it from me too. I'm like,
Yeah.
you gonna try and teach me? Am I learning a lesson here? Like, what are we? Like, no,
Yeah.
it's
Heard
hard.
that. I've heard that once or twice in the last 21 years. Yes.
It's like psychological warfare going on, you know?
No, here's my answer. First of all, I literally have 100 things I could say right now about how much you have helped me and how much I've grown as a man in 21 years because of you. So I will just go with one, and I think you're going to like my answer. One thing I've learned about myself is that I'm a lot more like type A and logical and organized than you might like like than people might realize.
Okay.
Like in a home setting, my brain is like very organized and I can be very kind of logical and stoic and rigid with my family members. And so you've helped me to see how my rigidity does not always fly with 3 daughters and a wife and just to be how unloving actually it is. How that's a good way. I like that. Yeah. I like how that came off. How unloving and how kind of selfish my logic and my rigidity can be with children and with you, and help me to really be more loving by kind of more going with the flow, even though I don't want to do that. I don't want to go with the flow. I don't like this flow. What kind of flow is this? This flow sucks. Get me out of this river.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Not only children, but 3 daughters and a wife. So you're
Yeah.
surrounded, and it's like
A lot of
and you've
estrogen
had
over there.
2 sisters growing up, and it's like this constant, reminder of like, okay, to soften. And like,
So yeah, like
how
just-
you come across,
Just because I might say something like in a nice, kind way or a nice tone, if the content is like really intense, that's not nice, especially with children and a wife. You know what I mean?
Danielle, since you don't listen to every podcast all the time, Sean, great.
You're making me sound crazy.
No. I
He's
learned.
giving me a bad time how I
Listen.
don't listen to the podcast.
I'm roasting her. I'm not. Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what you're going to say. I'm
Me
like,
too.
what's he telling
I
the
learned so
world?
much, and I know you do too. But he told a story about when one of your daughters needed new windshield wiper blades, and he was just like, "Go and you can do it on your own. Like this would be a good
Yes.
moment for them." And you were like, "No, this is her like reaching
Yes.
out and needing a father figure in her life."
Walking
And he's
Yes.
just
through
like,
it.
"No, you're good." So that's the difference when it comes to maybe
Yes.
boys versus girls, or the loving, nurturing parent versus the no, you need to do this on your own.
Oh, 100%. Yes, that's come up quite a few times of like,
Yeah.
this battle, because I was raised that way too. In a lot of ways, like you can do it yourself, like teaching you how to do it yourself. And there's a time and a place for all of that, like being girls and learning how to like be responsible and do your own, but also like you want to be taken care of and you want to know your dad is like always there for you and you want to feel like a princess too,
Yeah.
feel like you're being treated, well. And so, yeah, it's been hard to see like that's not like his first initial response is like, oh, of course I'll be there, Maddie, but like, at the same time that he's growing and wanting to do that. So I've seen so much of that where he's like, okay, this is my opportunity, like, and responding to that, and hearing me on that and wanting to grow in that.
I got to jump in. That is like such a great like thing we're talking about here. Like my dad never taught me about how to cherish your daughters.
Yeah.
He wasn't there in my life at all. He didn't cherish his own daughters. And so I had to learn that from you. And sometimes you've taught me that in a really great, effective ways. And sometimes it wasn't as easy. Or like, you're like, why don't you my dad? My dad will open. My dad, look at my dad. Why don't you be more like my dad? And I was like, but no, it's like, if you're a dad and you're listening to this, I feel like I would be missing out so much because there's a lot of dads that aren't doing this right now. They're not like cherishing their daughters. And because they're trying to raise strong women, which are both good things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, this is a reason a gazillion billion number 75, why parenting is so confusing. We're trying to raise tough women, strong women, but also cherish them as our princesses, right? It's confusing.
Right.
Right. Well, there's a time and a place. It's like going to help with the windshield wipers and teaching her while you're there. Like there's like you say, there's a third option, there's a way to do both, but I get why, especially. And so I try to have empathy with that a lot. Like, well, you weren't necessarily raised with that. And so it makes sense that that doesn't come naturally. It's not like you don't care or love them. You just haven't been taught these things. So,
Tell us, guys, how's the other person's parenting style helped you grow as a parent?
Oh, this is my turn.
No, you already went.
Didn't you say communication?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you went. Sorry, Jordan. Yeah.
Talk more about me. That's fine. I got no problem.
I would say what's good is she's helped me realize more of a belief in myself as a good parent. Because sometimes when you're in it, you don't really know if you're a good parent or not. And she's always like, "You're a great dad."
That's nice.
You know. So she is my own like personal cheerleader.
Yeah.
And like making me feel like I'm doing something right. You know. And so sometimes, a spouse won't do that, and you will never know.
Yeah.
It's like there can be relationships where you would never really know how you're doing, but she's really vocal, again, communication, as to like, no, you did so good with this, and hey, I really appreciate how you did this, and she'll like give me compliments, and I'm like, oh, thanks. Didn't even register that it registered with you in that moment, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah.
On the counter to that,
Oh, what do I do wrong?
I don't know if you guys want to make this our last topic here as we kind of wrap things up, but what I wanted to be vulnerable with is kind of talk about what we're working on.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because you give all this great advice, Sean, and I'm always like, man, we got to put it into practice. So like me, I'm working on trying to figure out how to give our older kids a little bit more responsibility. You talk about chores being so good. And so they have a couple right now. And they're always so busy. Danny's like, they don't need to have anything else added to their plate because they're literally doing so many things. I'm like, well, I'm trying to make them like good individuals. So we got to put more on their plate.
Yeah.
And so we work on that together.
Yeah.
Or like, I would like to have less on your plate.
I know.
So that I give it to the kids because they're old enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, this is my job and I want to do it. I'm like, but you're drowning. Like, can you not see that? I feel so bad. Like, let them do it. They're sitting here just watching TV.
But it's one of those things that at least for me, like they have to organically happen. Like pulling him in on stuff for Kinlan, that took some time and just like individual reflection of why am I holding this so close? Why
Yeah.
can't I give this up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's just still things I got to work on and
Yeah.
figure out why do I hold this so close. And
Yeah.
I think for him, he does give me a lot of patience and grace with that. He'll make more of it like jokes about like, Dani, come on. Like, yes, they can put the dishes away. They are 11. So it's just, I think maybe because again, like if you just reflect back on your own upbringing, I did all those things at 11 that I'm like, I can do these for my children because that was something that wasn't available to me. And so I think just working through, I still want them to be wonderful individuals, but I'm like, I can just do it today, and it's
Yeah.
okay because I know, Caden's he's got his gymnastics and Emery has cross country today, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I can do it for him today. And I don't know. I think it's
No,
also
that's
just bonding
interesting.
of us because the kids do recognize when I do it, and there's a lot of relationship building when I take some of those things from them, and they do
Yeah.
say thanks. So
So it's not so much I mean, because I was thinking maybe it's more like as you wanting to be in charge, like be in control, like, oh, they're going to do it the wrong way. Like, let me just do it type thing. It seems like it's more like you experienced that growing up.
Yeah.
And it was hard for you. So you're like, how can I take that off their plate and not do it? So it's
Yeah.
interesting. I was thinking maybe it was because I know a lot of people struggle with, I'm not giving them chores because then I'm going to have to redo it. And it's this whole thing.
there's a little bit of that too,
Yeah.
if I'm being
Can't fold
completely
their
honest.
clothes. They don't know how to fold it my way.
Well, suddenly their
Oh.
drawers are overflowing, and I'm like, but I washed and folded these. Well, how did they
Yes.
not get into the drawer
Yes.
in
It's a little of
neat
both,
way?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both for sure.
But and she has a little OCD too, so I think
Yeah,
that plays
That's very
in.
true.
Same.
That is
Cereal
true.
box it in
Samesies.
straight.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Or is there anything you guys are working on at your stage of parenting?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, you want me to go? Okay, so I'm going to be vulnerable here, and so vulnerable, and actually, it actually helped me. I'm going to talk about something I don't really talk about very much. And I want you to. Can you help me figure out how to say it?
Sure.
So, I have been blessed with 3 daughters, and these 3 daughters seem like we have very different interests. So I like football. I like the outdoors. I like MMA, and I'm like a
Yeah.
very typical American man in a lot of ways. And my precious daughters are not really into sports or into the outdoors. They're into fashion. They're very much like their mom. And so, help me say this. So, something I'm really working on is just how do I continue to keep that bond and that connection and kind of enter their world as they, because like when their kids are younger, it's like you can just play dolls and My Little Ponies with them, and then as they get to tweens and teens years, it's like they're getting more and more into these things. And I'm just just I really want to be intentional and just keep trying to find things like I have in common with them and just enjoy them. But it's hard because sometimes I kind of feel rejected because I'm like trying to ask them about their lives and they don't really want to talk to me and like they don't want to include me. And they're thinking like, why are you asking me all these questions? And I'm just trying to find that like sweet spot to be like, I really want to know you and I want to enjoy you and I want to celebrate you. Because you don't when you want to go shopping, you don't ask me to go shopping with you. You don't ask your
Yeah.
sister or your mom.
Right.
And so there's that. You know what I mean? It's like
That can be hard.
It's like, and I think I don't. It's hard for me to talk about, but I think it's important to talk about because I think it's extremely common. It's
I do too.
extremely common when you have a child. They're like, how do I relate to this child? We don't have much in common. And so yeah, can you help me like? Help me like from your perspective? How would you describe that, or what do you see?
How would I describe it?
I don't know, like,
what do
How would you help
what's your-
them?
How would I help?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think what we were touching on earlier, just like the formalities, I think that's probably the hardest part. And it's, I mean, to be more natural, like it's just hard. I mean, it's all good intentions. And I think they're all working on it. And they know, like, it's just dad. That's just how dad talks. Like, they know. But, I mean, I think there's so many opportunities to just be present throughout the day, being more intentional of like, texting, just checking in and things like that. Like whenever they're out and about or if our oldest is on a trip or something, like I'm constantly checking in and texting and doing those things, which seems like more of like motherly thing, but I feel like it can also be, something that
Texting.
dads
Texting with older teenage women.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like.
I have some advice.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
wish-
have some advice?
Yeah. I love it.
Not off the top of my head.
You just need to become a Swiftie, bro.
that would not do it.
Oh, they're not Swifties.
Do it.
Okay.
No,
They're not.
They're not
No.
Swifties.
I don't take the Donahue girls to be Swifties.
No.
matchas.
Yeah.
Matchas.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
we need to
Matcha.
start our
Okay.
matcha
So, no,
shop
we
and
are.
then
No, we actually do. We travel to different matcha shops. So
Okay.
that's something that I enjoy
Yeah,
doing.
funny. And they
taking the
do.
matcha
It's
or
not-
just trying to go shopping with them for
Yeah.
hanging in there.
I have another question too. Maybe Danielle can help with this one. We've had this situation before where like, man, maybe we should do like individual trips. Like I've always wanted like to go like hunting and fishing with my kids, but
Yeah.
they're just not really interested. But I remember one time you told our little girl Emery, like, Dad loves it when you go with him, and now she's like, I really want to go with Daddy.
That's sweet.
Yeah, do something manly because she's
Yeah.
like, it makes Daddy happy.
That's so sweet.
So like,
That's so
maybe
nice.
that's something.
Well,
maybe
well,
Danielle
that's
can
our youngest is very much like that and would love to do all that. Our 9-year-old. It's just a little harder with the older kids and trying to connect on that level. So,
And there's a good chance when she's only 9, so by the time she's 11, she may not be into that anymore. You know what I mean? She'll be in 11. She may not want to hang out with her parents at age 12 or 11. So it's just like
Goes in
this-
waves.
yeah.
yeah, I think.
That's why you force them. That's exact. They're not 18 yet.
Yeah, just because you have parents who
Will hang out with me.
I mean,
do this doesn't mean it's
Yeah,
not
you don't
hard.
have all
you
the
don't have
answers,
you don't have
right.
it all. It takes two. So
right.
Yeah,
And-
you gotta-
but not feeling like, I think too, not taking them like not pursuing you or as like, I don't want to be around you. It's the constant pursuit and finding ways
Yeah.
in that maybe, are just more natural of like not just giving up, because then when you kind of are like, well, they don't want to hang out and so I just don't really pursue it, then they're feeling like, oh, he doesn't care. He doesn't really want to spend time with me. And so they don't really see this side as much. That's kind of like, oh, I'm just thinking that that's an area of just like pursuing, even though it's hard, even though it feels like they don't want you around or in those, of course they want you around, but I'm saying like certain times feeling like, oh, because we do our girls trips together and we have all these things, but finding, ways that not stopping the pursuit.
Right.
totally,
Yeah.
it's something I'm working on.
Yeah.
That's just
And I
keeping
think,
it
Sean,
real.
for us too, like it's getting into them, but we just don't know it.
Yeah.
Right. I think when they
So
look
true.
back 10 years later,
Yes.
man,
Oh, yeah.
my
Yes.
dad used to do all this for me.
So
And right
true.
now we don't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It
That's
just
true.
started coming out with Caden for me because
Yeah.
I go to every gymnastics meet he has.
He loves it.
And up until recently, I had no idea that it mattered. But I just, for the last 5 years, I've been at every one. I've never
I heard
missed,
you
and-
saying something about that, and just while you were here, like,
Yeah.
oh, you really do appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It means a lot to him, but it took
Yeah.
5 years to know
Wow.
it. So, but
Wow.
I was invested, and
So it's
so
hard.
true.
So like, just know that the appreciation's there.
Yeah.
It just might not be verbalized right now. And
Yeah.
it's one of those things like you'll know later.
I think a great word that's helped me to understand parenting is just the word patience. Like you're just being patient with the process and just keep showing up every day and being patient because you will kind of reap the rewards and you will hear from them one day.
yeah.
I love this. This was so fun.
This
It
was,
was. We
That's
did it.
fun.
this
So
was
good.
surprisingly fun. Good job, Danielle.
Good job, Dani.
You guys were
Good
so
job,
great.
Danielle.
You guys are so
Let's
great.
do
We're
this
sitting.
every other month. Get together in a living room.
We'll see. We'll see what they think.
Stack
You
up
want us
some
to do this
boxes.
again? Or is this a one-off? Or should we do it again?
We love our friendship with you guys.
Thank
Thanks
you guys for
making
having
this
us. Just
podcast.
from the wives to or from the wives to you guys, we are really proud of you, and we do love what you're doing. So keep
sure.
doing it. We hope we hope you guys enjoyed this one.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.